AI writes our emails before we finish the thought. AI corrects our grammar, plans our schedules, chooses our routes, and suggests our decisions. Life feels faster, easier, smoother. Nothing feels broken, and that's what makes this moment dangerous. Because the most damaging changes don't arrive with warnings or crashes. They arrive as improvements. And while AI is quietly making modern life more efficient, it's also quietly removing something far more important: human skills. The kind of skills people don't realize they're losing until the moment they need them and discover they're gone. Human progress has always depended on skill, the ability to think clearly, solve problems, remember information, communicate ideas, and adapt when things go wrong. Tools were created to support these abilities, not replace them. A hammer didn't eliminate strength. A calculator didn't eliminate math. They extended human effort. AI is different. It doesn't just assist skill, it replaces the need to practice it. Writing, planning, analyzing, remembering, even basic decision-making are increasingly outsourced. At first, this feels like freedom. Less effort, less friction, less struggle, but skills don't survive on convenience. They survive on use. And when people stop using them, they don't disappear loudly. They fade quietly. 1. Skills only exist if they are used. Human skills are not permanent possessions. They are living abilities that weaken without repetition. Critical thinking, writing, mental calculation. Problem-solving, these aren't stored safely in the brain once learned. They require constant use to stay sharp. AI doesn't remove skills by force. It removes the situations that require them. When writing is automated, people stop practicing thinking through words. When decisions are suggested, people stop evaluating options. Over time, the brain adapts. What isn't needed stops being maintained. The skill doesn't vanish. Overnight, it erodes slowly. Almost invisibly, too, convenience is rewriting how the brain chooses effort every time AI offers a shortcut. It teaches the brain a lesson. Effort is optional. Why struggle to write when AI drafts instantly? Why reason through a problem when a solution appears in seconds? Each choice feels efficient, rational, smart, but repeated daily, these choices rewire behavior. Effort begins to feel unnecessary, then uncomfortable, then wasteful. The brain always chooses the easiest available path, and AI makes that path effortless. Over time, challenge feels unnatural, and skill growth quietly stalls. 3. Writing is disappearing as a thinking tool. Writing is not just communication. It is thinking made visible. Writing forces clarity. It exposes weak logic. It reveals confusion. It slows the mind enough to organize ideas properly. When AI writes for us, we lose that process. People still produce clean, fluent text, but fewer people understand what they're saying at a deep level. Arguments sound confident, but lack structure. Ideas feel complete, but remain shallow. The words remain. The thinking behind them weakens. 4. Problem-solving is being replaced by prompting problem-solving. Once required discomfort, defining the problem, testing ideas, failing repeatedly, revising assumptions. Now problem-solving often means crafting the right prompt. Instead of learning how to reason, people learn how to ask. This subtly shifts cognitive habits. Struggle becomes unnecessary. Persistence becomes rare. Independent problem-solving becomes unfamiliar. When AI isn't available or when a problem falls outside its ability, confidence collapses. Not because people are incapable, but because the skill was never exercised. 5. Memory is becoming externalized. Why remember when AI retrieves instantly? Facts, procedures, directions, information always available on demand. But memory isn't just storage. Memory creates context. It allows ideas to connect. It enables insight. When memory weakens, understanding weakens with it. People may access information constantly, yet struggle to explain it. They recognize answers without understanding processes. Knowledge becomes fragmented instead of integrated. 6. Navigation. Skills have already vanished. Task most people to navigate without GPS. They can't, not because they lack intelligence, but because they stopped practicing. Spatial awareness, orientation, mental mapping, once essential human skills, are now optional. The result isn't inconvenience, it's dependence, and dependence spreads quietly. When one skill disappears without consequence, others follow. 7. Failure is being engineered out of life. Failure is uncomfortable, but it's essential for learning. Wrong turns, bad drafts, incorrect assumptions. These experiences sharpen judgment. AI minimizes failure by optimizing outcomes, but when failure disappears, learning slows. People become efficient but fragile. They function well when systems work perfectly, but struggle the moment conditions change. Without exposure to failure, resilience never develops. 8. Creativity is shifting from creation to selection. AI generates ideas instantly. Users choose, edit, and approve. This feels creative, but it's fundamentally different. Real creativity involves exploration, uncertainty, and dead ends. It requires patience and frustration. When creativity becomes selection instead of exploration, imagination narrows. Originality fades. Output increases, but depth declines. People create more but discover less. 9. Friction is essential for skill development. Friction forces engagement. Difficulty strengthens ability. Resistance builds competence. AI removes friction almost entirely, but friction isn't inefficiency, it's training. Without resistance, skills don't strengthen, they soften. The mind becomes optimized for comfort, not capability. 10. Social skills are quietly declining. AI now mediates communication, suggested replies, tone optimization, emotion-safe phrasing. This reduces social risk but also social learning. People practice fewer difficult conversations. Empathy, persuasion, negotiation. These skills require exposure to discomfort. When AI smooths interaction, social competence fades through disuse. 11. Surface knowledge is replacing deep understanding. AI summarizes complex ideas instantly, but summaries skip struggle. People recognize conclusions without understanding reasoning. Knowledge becomes shallow not because information is scarce, but because effort is removed. This creates confidence without comprehension. People feel informed, but lack the ability to explain or apply what they know. 12. Skills don't disappear loudly. There's no alarm when skills fade. Life continues. Productivity increases. Everything appears normal. The decline is invisible until something breaks. Then panic appears. Not because the problem is difficult, but because the skill required to respond no longer exists. 13. Dependence feels like progress. Convenience always feels like advancement because it feels good. Skills don't disappear through resistance. They disappear through comfort. AI dependence doesn't look like collapse. It looks like smoothness. Until smoothness cracks. 14. The illusion of capability is dangerous with AI. People appear more capable, but appearance isn't competence. When skills are externalized, capability becomes fragile. Remove the tool the ability disappears with it. True skill remains when systems fail. 15. Skills are the foundation of human agency. Skills create independence, the ability to act, adapt, and solve problems under pressure. When skills fade, agency shrinks. People rely on systems they don't control and don't understand. That's not empowerment, it's quiet dependency. AI is not the enemy, and it isn't evil, but reliance without restraint reshapes humanity. What we don't practice, we lose. What we outsource, we weaken. What we automate completely, we forget how to do. The danger isn't that AI becomes smarter, it's that humans stop needing to be skilled. Because when systems fail, and they always do, ESCOs are the difference between resilience and collapse. And once a skill is gone, rebuilding it is far harder than protecting it now.